giving us the opportunity to present tonight. As was said, I'm Kenneth. This is Stephen. We are the Kirbys, and we are the total package. My wife is 100% quality, and I'm the quantity. Today, it actually turned out being kind of cool because today is President's Day. And that gives me the chance to talk about some of my favorite people and some of our presidents. The one I want to talk to you about tonight is George Washington. He was our first president. And briefly, I just want to tell you why I so admire this man. Okay? This man, in taking a fledgling country, being our first president, he was a very selfless man. Okay? What I mean by that is, everybody that was coming from England that was, establishing this new country, don't you think they was a little scared? I would have been. And where do you go to when you're scared? You go to security. What was security for them? It wasn't a democracy, was it? No. They were used to having a king. They would beg George Washington to become the king. But what did George Washington do? He knew it was better for this brand new country. He loved the people enough to refuse that every time to bless this country. In talking about George Washington, there's another man that you can't avoid but seeing the exact same selflessness in. And that's the owner of Market America. That's J.R. We are so blessed to be a part of this dream of his that he gives everything. We've heard that he's been offered billions of dollars to sell this company. But he loves us. He loves this company. He loves this dream that is actually coming to fruition. Yeah. We have to respect that man. Yeah. I tell you, we are blessed. In going through that, I'm going to skip a little bit towards George Washington, the end of his life. Now, the day before George Washington died, he was out riding his horse. Okay? And normal, riding a horse in December, it was cold. You know where Mount Vernon is, right? Right next to D.C. It is cold. So he's out riding his horse, and actually some snow and sleet came up. Some rain also. He got soaking wet. Okay? The time he made it back to Mount Vernon, he was freezing to death, of course. But, silly George. He gets there, he goes in the house, and he decides, well, I'm just going to stand by the fire and stuff. And he never changed his clothes. So he was inside those wet clothes. He woke up the next morning with, I'm sure, a fever, with, I'm sure, cold. And, of course, the doctor was nowhere around. It took forever to get a doctor in those days. So one of the servants from the house actually came up and said, hey, I know something that might be able to help you. And guess what it was? Bloodletting. Bloodletting. And guess what they did? George said, well, I'll try anything. I feel sick. So they tried it, and it made George feel a little bit better, he thought. Progressing throughout the day, they actually bled George Washington 4 different times. The 4th time, it's estimated they took out over a quart of blood. He did pass away that evening, but he didn't die from cold. He died from being bled to death. So we know that life is in the blood. If we go and we look at the circulatory system, what actually delivers this life-giving blood throughout our body? The heart. I tell you. And we know that that's true because if somebody loses the circulation inside their arm or their leg or their toe or their little finger, what happens to that? It dies very quickly because life is in the blood. And the only way to get life throughout our body is the heart. Early civilization, if you noticed, everybody lived around the water. So what do you think that meant their biggest meat that they ate most of the time was? Makes sense, doesn't it? Nowadays, our diet's not quite that good. I know mine's not. That's my quantity. But I know that mine is not. In today's world, we put our heart in very precarious situations. With all the processed foods and everything else that we have around. Let's pretend like this egg is my heart. Okay? It's your heart. Let's say it's your heart. Mine's probably bigger. Anyway, our heart we put inside very peculiar situations because of all the processed foods, all the meats we eat, all that good stuff. Oh, what am I doing? Put it backwards. And so I just wanted to show you a little something. That needs to go there. This goes up on top of it. It's 5 inches. Then we ran out of toilet paper. But we can use the roll anyway. But think about it. Our heart in this life right now that we're living is in a bad situation a lot of times. And sometimes it's like it's up on a building or something. It's a scary place. Then we're driving home and we pass our favorite burger place. You know, the one that serves the double cheeseburger, extra greasy, extra bacon, the way we like it. And you know what can happen to our heart? Catastrophe can happen. But there are things that we can do to help with this catastrophe. And maybe our heart will survive, just like this egg. And my lovely wife is going to start telling us about some of those things.
Alright, so enter our Heart Health Omega-3. That is a top 20 consumer favorite of North America. And so what exactly is cardiovascular health? Well, the term is used to refer to heart health, basically. It's how well we treat our heart. And you can significantly increase your chances of maintaining good cardiovascular health by doing certain things. And so, what does the lifestyle have to do with your heart? Simple everyday things you can do. Non-smoking. Don't smoke. Maintain healthy height to weight ratio. Eating a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Limiting consumption of saturated fat. Exercise is really big. And then working with your physician and also a nutritional supplementation program that we're great at. So Market America brand versus the two other leading omegas, we have one a leading omega up front there, that's the Nature Made. And so comparing the brands, Market America has 3,000 milligrams of fish oil. Dr. Tobias brand 2,000 and Nature Made 2,000. And then EPA and DHA are really long words that I can't pronounce, but they're really important. And so our brand has 900 of the EPA and 600 DHA, and again, it's much higher than the other leading brands that are on the market. How does omega-3 work? It works in a variety of ways, but basically it counteracts all of the omega-6 that's in a Western diet filled with meat and potatoes. And so some of the benefits, children can increase their IQ by more than 3.5 points. It reduces triglyceride levels by as much as 30%. Your systolic and diastolic, your upper and lower blood pressure, it can reduce that. What else? It can reduce stroke back to 50% and decrease heart disease by 40%. I have a story or a testimonial, whatever, about blood pressure. About 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Right. And so I exercised, ate right, thought I was healthy. How could I have high blood pressure? And so I first found out because I went to a minor emergency. I don't go to doctors because they just tell you the things that are wrong with you. And so I was pretty much forced to go to a minor emergency. What is the first thing they do when you go to the doctor? They take your blood pressure. I told them up and down before they took my blood pressure, I'm going to have my blood pressure because I can't stand going to the doctor. So they took my blood pressure, of course it was really high. They made me lay down in a dark room for 30 minutes before they let me go home. I blew it off as I was just nervous to go to the doctor. And so about 4 or 6 months later, I had to go back. And again, it was to a minor emergency. See, my husband always taught me that, you know, we raised our kids. Now we just, after our kids are raised, what do you always say?
Oh, we're just waiting for that.
We're just waiting to die. So why do I need to go to a doctor, right? I don't have, if I have high blood pressure, oh well, I'm just going to die. So I go back 4 months later, and my blood pressure was even higher. 45 minutes later, laying in a dark room, they finally let me go. They were about to take me to the emergency room. And so they just kept begging me, please go get a primary care physician and have a yearly physical or whatever they call it. And I was 50 years old at the time, so I thought I'd better start doing that. So I went to the doctor. Yes, I have high blood pressure. So she put me on blood pressure medications. That was about 3 years ago. About 4 months ago, my lovely daughter and son-in-law introduced me to Market America and the Daily Essentials. And so I started taking those, and I kept seeing different testimonials about how it's helped blood pressure. And I kept thinking to myself, I think I'm going to stop taking blood pressure medication. And so I took it for a couple more weeks, my blood pressure medication, along with the Daily Essentials, and then I started taking the Heart Health as well. Because I saw, it too had a lot of benefits, but one of them was blood pressure. So fast forward a couple weeks after I started taking the Heart Health, I stopped taking my blood pressure medication. I went a couple weeks ago for my yearly physical, and my blood pressure was 120/78. So the doctor said, wow, you have the blood pressure of an 18-year-old. Good job on those meds. And I kind of looked at her. I said, well, I haven't been taking those for a few months. And she's like, what? So she asked what I was taking, and I gave her a packet, and she was like, there's really good stuff in this. So anyway, I'm off blood pressure medication. Additional benefits, helps maintain normal cholesterol, which I'm probably sure I have high cholesterol too. Maintains normal blood flow, helps healthy level C reactive protein, whatever that is. Again, ours contains 3,000 milligrams of fish oil. It's nearly 1/3 more than anything else on the market.
Wow.
And it can also decrease the incidence of Alzheimer's, which I know a lot of people are having a problem with that. So, and there's even more benefits. It supports relief from temporary inflammation, healthy eye lubrication, normal tear production, helps promote blood flow to the eye, supports joint health, healthy complexion, and enhances your mood. So all of you moody women out there, it can really help. All right, so is this fish oil free of heavy metals? This is really cool. In contrast to the competitors use a lot of large fish, and the larger the fish gets, the more chance it has for toxins to get inside the fish. And so Market America only uses like anchovies and sardines, which are smaller fish. And then they're also in waters off of Peru, which are supposed to be, really ideal, he's fishing, ideal waters. And so they're tested twice, once from the manufacturer and then once from an independent company to test for metals. And then is this vegetarian? No, the product contains gelatin and fish oil, so it's not considered vegetarian. Cost versus other brands? As Dr. Ed says, you may find cheaper but not better. Sure, staying healthy is expensive, but so is the heartache of illness and premature death, tragedy and destruction, as is so common in my business. And then the recommended dosage, take 2 gel caps per day with a meal for maximum absorption.
While Sue was talking, I was over here. I actually had another thing I wanted to show you. In this cup, there's 2 cups. I had a little bit of water in each one of them, okay? This cup, I used Nature's Best. Nature Made, whatever she was called. Fish oil, okay? I put it inside this cup. As you can tell, it's not doing anything with the cup. Okay? Now, I put our Heart Health inside, just squeeze one gel inside here. And let's see if it's time. As you can see, it ate right through the styrofoam. Now, are you thinking, do I want to take something that's going to In actuality, you do. I'll tell you why. You know the plaque that builds up in all of our arteries and in our heart and everywhere else? Well, if you notice, this plaque is like styrofoam. This doesn't do a whole lot for it, does it? What does our product do? So we told you quite a few things that are good about our product, that are good about fish oil, okay? Also in general, but our product, of course, is the best. Okay? But we want to tell you one more thing. Drum roll, please. The number one reason to use our Heart Health is...
This product is off the chain.